A helicopter flies a perfectly equal distance north, east, south, and west. Common sense dictates the pilot lands exactly where they began. But they don't. They are miles away. Why does this basic journey completely shatter our spatial reality? Imagine a helicopter takes off from Leningrad. The pilot executes a simple flight plan. First, fly exactly 500 kilometers north, then turn and fly 500 kilometers east. Next, turn south and cover another 500 kilometers. Finally, turn west, fly exactly 500 kilometers, and land. Anyone looking at this flat map would naturally conclude that going forward, right, back, and left puts you exactly back where you started. But when the pilot steps out, the navigator drops a bombshell. They are not in Leningrad. The map might show a perfectly closed box, but the reality is completely different. They missed their starting point entirely. If flying 4 equal 500-kilometer legs in a square does not bring you back home, then where on earth did this helicopter actually land? East, west, north, or south of the starting point? Here is the mind-bending secret to solving this puzzle. We constantly make the mistake of visualizing our world on flat, two-dimensional paper, but the Earth is actually a giant spinning sphere. Because of this geometry, the imaginary longitude lines running from pole to pole are not parallel. Just like the wedges of an orange, they are incredibly wide at the equator, but squeeze tightly together as you travel further north. Let us track our helicopter again on this three-dimensional globe. It first flies 500 kilometers north. This journey pushes the helicopter into a much higher latitude, moving closer to the North Pole. Up here, those longitude lines are squeezed tightly together, so when the helicopter turns and flies 500 kilometers east, its flight path suddenly slices across a massive number of those narrow, tightly packed longitude wedges. Finally, the helicopter flies south, dropping back down to its starting latitude. Now it must fly west to get home. But at this lower latitude, the longitude wedges are spread much further apart. A 500-kilometer flight simply is not long enough to cross the same number of wedges it traveled over up north. The helicopter runs out of distance, falling exactly 77 kilometers short, leaving it stranded east. If this hidden curvature warped your mind, there are even more geographical illusions waiting to trick your brain. Our everyday logic fails us constantly. Click the video on screen to crack another impossible paradox.